Islam is a monotheistic religion founded in the 7th century CE in Mecca by the Prophet Muhammad, who Muslims believe was the final prophet of God. The religion quickly spread across the Arabian Peninsula and beyond, influencing vast regions through its spiritual, cultural, and political developments. At its core, Islam is based on the belief in one God, Allah, and the teachings of the Quran. Central to Islamic practice are the 5 pillars, which are key acts of worship and commitment. These pillars guide the daily lives of Muslims and serve as the foundation for their devotion to God. Here are the pillars one by one. The profession of faith, Shahada. The Shahada, the first of Islam's 5 pillars, is the declaration of faith that every Muslim recites as an expression of their belief. It states, "There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger." This concise yet powerful statement underscores the 2 foundational principles of Islam: monotheism and the acceptance of Muhammad as God's final prophet. By pronouncing the Shahada with sincere belief, one becomes a Muslim. It encapsulates the essence of Islamic faith, affirming that Allah is the one and only God, and that Muhammad delivered his final revelation to humanity. At the heart of the Shahada is the concept of Tawheed, the oneness of God, which is central to Islamic theology. This affirmation rejects the idea of any partners, idols, or other deities alongside Allah, reinforcing the pure monotheism that defines Islam. It also highlights the importance of following the example of Muhammad, who is seen not only as the messenger, but also as the perfect model for how to live a righteous life. Through his life and teachings, Muslims are guided on how to implement the divine will in all aspects of personal and communal life. The Shahada is not just a statement of belief. It plays an active role in the daily life of a Muslim. Recited during prayers and significant religious moments, it serves as a constant reminder of one's commitment to God and the message of Islam. It also reinforces the idea of accountability, as Muslims strive to live in accordance with God's commands, following Muhammad's teachings. By embedding the Shahada in daily practice, it shapes both the spiritual and practical lives of believers, continually renewing their faith and connection to Allah. Daily prayers, Salat. Salat, the second of the 5 pillars of Islam, is the ritual prayer that Muslims are expected to perform 5 times a day. These prayers take place at specific times: before dawn, Fajr; midday, Dhuhr; mid-afternoon, Asr; sunset, Maghrib; and evening, Isha. Each prayer involves a series of movements, including standing, bowing, kneeling, and prostrating, which are accompanied by the recitation of verses from the Quran and personal supplications. Salat is seen as a direct link between the worshipper and Allah, and it emphasizes the importance of discipline and regularity in a Muslim's spiritual life. One of the key aspects of Salat is that it can be performed anywhere, not just in a mosque, making it accessible to Muslims in various circumstances. However, Muslims are required to face the Kaaba in Mecca when they pray, symbolizing unity and submission to the same divine center. During prayer, Muslims bow and touch their foreheads to the ground in prostration, a powerful gesture of humility and submission to Allah's will. This physical and spiritual act is a reminder of human dependence on God, reinforcing the bond between the believer and their Creator. While daily prayers can be performed individually or in a group, Jamu'ah, the Friday congregational prayer, holds special significance. On this day, many Muslims gather at a mosque around midday for communal worship, where they also listen to a sermon that provides guidance on religious and moral matters. This communal aspect of Salat fosters a sense of unity and brotherhood among Muslims, reminding them that they are part of a global community of believers who share the same faith and practice. Alms-giving, Zakat. Zakat, the third pillar of Islam, represents the giving of alms and is a mandatory act of charity for all Muslims who are financially able. While the specific guidelines for zakat are not detailed in the Quran, the obligation to share wealth with those less fortunate is emphasized throughout Islamic teachings. Zakat serves as a way to purify one's wealth by recognizing that all provisions come from Allah, and it is a means to help reduce economic disparity within the community. Typically, Muslims are required to give 2.5% of their savings and wealth annually, which is directed toward helping the poor, orphans, and those in need, among other causes. This act of giving is not merely a charitable suggestion, but a duty that every eligible Muslim must fulfill. By giving zakat, Muslims strengthen the bonds of their community by supporting those who are vulnerable or disadvantaged. It also serves as a spiritual reminder of the temporary nature of material wealth and encourages a sense of responsibility toward others. Zakat is distinct from sadaqah, which is voluntary charity. While sadaqah can be given at any time and in any amount, Zakat has specific requirements and is considered an act of worship. In addition to its religious significance, Zakat has social and economic benefits. It helps circulate wealth more evenly within society and contributes to the welfare of the entire Muslim community, ensuring that no one is left behind. By fulfilling this pillar, Muslims not only demonstrate compassion and solidarity, but also contribute to social justice, fostering a sense of equality and mutual care. The giving of zakat highlights Islam's broader emphasis on community and the moral responsibility of individuals to care for one another. Fasting during Ramadan, Saum. Fasting during Ramadan, also known as Saum, is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and holds deep spiritual significance for Muslims. Observed during the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, Ramadan commemorates the month in which the Quran was first revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. Muslims are required to fast from dawn until dusk, refraining from not only food and drink, but also negative behaviors such as gossip, lying, and arguing. This fast is a means of cultivating self-discipline, gratitude, and a heightened awareness of one's faith and relationship with Allah. It's a time of introspection and spiritual renewal, where Muslims strive to purify their hearts and minds through worship and devotion. Though fasting is obligatory for all adult Muslims, there are exceptions for those who cannot fast due to health conditions, pregnancy, old age, or other valid reasons. The elderly, sick, travelers, and pregnant or breastfeeding women are allowed to postpone their fasts, or, in some cases, are exempt. They may either make up the fasts at a later date or provide food to the needy as a form of compensation, known as fidya. These allowances emphasize the importance of mercy and compassion in Islamic teachings, ensuring that the fast is not a hardship but a spiritual journey for those able to undertake it. Beyond abstaining from physical sustenance, Ramadan also encourages Muslims to engage in acts of charity, kindness, and worship. Fasting during Ramadan fosters empathy for the less fortunate by allowing Muslims to experience hunger and thirst, deepening their sense of gratitude for the blessings they have. The fast concludes each day with iftar, the breaking of the fast at sunset, often a communal meal shared with family and friends. The month ends with Eid al-Fitr, a celebration of the successful completion of the fast and an occasion to give charity to those in need. Pilgrimage to Mecca, Hajj. Hajj, the 5th pillar of Islam, is a pilgrimage to Mecca that every Muslim who is physically and financially able is required to perform at least once in their lifetime. It takes place during the 12th month of the Islamic calendar, known as Dhu al-Hijjah. Hajj is a deeply spiritual journey that serves as a demonstration of the unity of the Muslim Ummah community and their submission to Allah. By embarking on this pilgrimage, Muslims follow in the footsteps of the Prophet Muhammad and earlier prophets like Abraham, who is central to the rituals of Hajj. The pilgrimage allows Muslims to reflect on their faith and renew their sense of devotion and humility before Allah. One of the key rites of Hajj is the tawaf, where pilgrims walk around the Kaaba, the sacred structure at the center of Islam's holiest mosque, Masjid al-Haram, 7 times in a counterclockwise direction. The Kaaba holds immense religious significance as it is believed to have been built by Abraham and his son Ishmael. Muslims face the Kaaba during their daily prayers, and its symbolic importance during Hajj emphasizes the centrality of Allah in every believer's life. Pilgrims also engage in other rituals, such as walking between the hills of Safa and Marwa, reenacting Hagar's desperate search for water for her son Ishmael, and standing at the plain of Arafat in prayer and reflection, which is considered the climax of the pilgrimage. The Hajj is not just a physical journey, but a profound spiritual experience that allows Muslims to seek forgiveness for their sins and purify their hearts. Upon completion of the pilgrimage, Muslims are often given the honorary title of Haji or Hajjah for men and women respectively, signifying their fulfillment of this sacred duty. The pilgrimage fosters a sense of equality and humility as millions of pilgrims, regardless of race, nationality, or social status, dress in simple white garments, known as ihram, to symbolize their unity before God. Hajj culminates in the celebration of Eid al-Adha, where pilgrims and Muslims worldwide commemorate Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his son in obedience to God's command, an act of devotion and faith that remains central to Islamic teachings. If you enjoyed learning about the 5 pillars of Islam in this video, you're going to love our next one. We'll be debunking common misconceptions about Islam in part 1 of our new series, from misunderstandings about beliefs and practices to clarifying Islamic principles, we'll take a deep dive into the truth behind the myths. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it.